What's going on, crew? Big C here, and I've got Slaan in the house, which is that way.
Sitting in his chair as well,
Exactly, we're actually sitting in the same room as each other, but I just thought it would be easier if we set up
stroking his leg.
stroking my leg with two independent cameras. So we're here today to show you guys what the crack is with the server, because Alpha 13 is about to drop.
About to drop. I've only been waiting for how long?
It's about to drop, but it's kind of constipated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's happening is the server that you guys were asking for is pretty much ready now.
Yeah.
We're going to be, well, Slaan's going to be talking about it and showing you guys how it all works and bits and bobs like that. So take it away, Maestro, and then we'll talk some shit in the meantime.
Yeah, we'll just get back. Oh, not so single, is it?
No, it's the server itself. So we've installed this on the test server. Obviously, when 13 drops, there's going to be a load of new blocks in the game and a load of blocks that have been taken out of the game. So there will be a conversion process that we have to go through with kind of converting some bits and bobs for this to work.
Yeah, well, Magoli, who does the combo pack, is already taking quite a few steps to ensure getting the combo pack prefabs ready for 13 as soon as possible. But there's usually a few weeks. We'll have bugs and all sorts of stuff breaking things for the first couple of weeks. It'll not be until a couple of hot fixes, I would imagine, that all the prefabs will really be good to go. So I want to get that other picture up with the overall map, and then we'll.
Yeah. So while this is just loading in, we're going to show you guys. You have to turn this off first. So for those of you in the know, we have a design, an overall design. Put down a little bit just for the old cameras in the way. So we've got a giant city.
This is the general layout that you're going to see on the map. The way that the game's built the map in cells. We've got the centre cell with the big hub in. All the surrounding hubs that you can see are all customised stuff, community things. The Asia hub, the waste towns, a lot of the hubs have come from the combo pack. It's just our selection really of things that we think fits in nicely with our urban survival theme, with the way we want the map to sort of evolve and just progress really over time.
Yeah, so the whole concept of this is that Slan decided that we should probably have something that's focused on urban survival, PvP.
We don't want people just starting a game, and we've done it ourselves when we've joined new games. You think, right, the server's progressed a little bit. We don't immediately want to be surrounding ourselves in the thick of the action. Let's just go run off into the wilderness. We'll find something that nobody else has discovered yet. We'll use that to live off, and then maybe one day, if we can be bothered, once we're fully established, we'll come back and get involved with some action, which never really seems to happen.
Yeah.
You can look at a lot of maps, not just on our server, on other servers, and you can see people spreading out. And the way Random Gen is just continuously churning out these little hubs, and there's enough in them to make a small group live there. There's no need to really seek out other people other than.
Yeah. So the idea that we had was, if we could make a giant city that would keep everybody interested, it would get kind of like rival PvP gang warfare style going on. So if we could have a giant city as a focal point with a selection of custom POIs around the outside, then people could still go out as far as they wanted to.
The exploration is still going to be there.
Yeah,
you're still going to want your mini bike. I kind of picture it as if you put Navezgane in the centre of Random Gen. You've got a concentrated area, a built-up area that can provide and sustain a nice group of people. And then you've got the randomness on every game, every time you spin the map, where no two maps would be the same. You've got an excuse to hunker down and work towards a mini bike, and then get out of this busy, horrible area where people are killing us and robbing me stuff, and go out and explore, get some safe looting. But instead of having that option at the beginning of the game, you're going to have to work towards being able to survive long enough to get out and explore deep into the hubs and stuff.
So some of the features of the main city that you guys probably will be aware of is that this is it's 256 prefabs. It's 16 by 16, so you've got 256 prefabs.
Or just under a square kilometre.
Yeah, and so that's just what's above ground. So on tier 1 below ground, is it the sewers first or is it the metro system?
It's wait, should we not just go into the game?
Yeah.
And then
fire straight up, get into the game.
So from here, the general idea is you can see the storm drains, which are just notched out onto the side of the roads, and these would be like you would typically find in any street. There are means to drain water and whatever into a sewer system.
Yep.
So they fit in. They look like they should do. Really, you would expect to see them there, kind of thing. Put a DM on, otherwise I'm going to get chewed to pieces here.
Yep. So the dealio is that on above street level we have 256 prefabs. Underground on the first tier we have a drainage system which leads down to a sewage system.
These are the storm drains which we've seen before. And we've already had a little tour of the sewer, but since the subways and stuff have been added on top of that, I figure we should probably find a station and go into them how they would kind of be intended.
Yep. So
Let's find one now. This is what I love about Random Gen and the way the cities are made is you haven't got any choice where anything goes. It's just spinning the dice and we'll see where it ends up.
We're just going to find ourselves a train station. Do you remember what they look like?
Oh, yeah, it's from above. I think that might be one there. Yes, it is. So these weren't in the last video. Everything that we'll go into now was kind of an addition that was done later because the sewer system on its own, well, it was quite nice. I wanted an extra sort of layer that people can travel through to mix things up. If we're going to try and focus and concentrate people in a centre area, then we need to increase the playing area within that area itself. Otherwise, people are just going to be overrun. Things will get destroyed and smashed to pieces. But periodically throughout the city, these are added onto a city block in the same style that the other stuff above land was added, like the train tracks and the train station, the destroyed stuff, except obviously these ones just go down now.
So for those, stick yourself a head torch on or something. So for those who haven't seen this before, these are dynamically spawning train stations, okay? So underground there is a train network as well as a sewer network. So we're just going to run down and have a look at one of the train stations.
Each tile is mirrored, so there's another entrance on the opposite side of the same city block, and each one would go down into a station that faces a different direction and then would connect separately on either side to the tunnel network. Now these are actually the first iteration of the stations that I've done. I have since now, updated all of these, tidied them up a little better. The stations have a lot more loot in them, they're not just so placeholder and empty.
Yeah, but the thing is we didn't want to show everybody too much, but you can see that what these stations look like. Is that a train in the distance?
Yeah.
So there are the trains.
The trains have been updated as well, don't worry.
Yeah, this is the first preview of what the trains look like, but they will be the more up-to-date versions when we get there.
Now, one of the things that's further down the line, which is why I'm kind of changing this sort of system, is what we've got here, thanks to the lovely randomness. Side by side, we'll have two city blocks that have spawned that have both got train stations in. So this length of track,
That's for lazy people, though.
Actually stops here. But I mean, the point is it's all random. It gives you multiple ways to travel the city.
Yeah.
There's about 3 or 4 different levels now. I mean, if we go a little bit along here, we'll start to see where this further connects into the older sewer system, which we showed you the last time.
Yeah. You could even just you clip through the wall just to go there? So we clip through the wall, and to be honest, you can. Oh, there we go. We're in the sewers now.
So this would be the second level down, and then the sewers, like we showed you the last time, have the water level as well, which will be cut out for 13 to include these deeper areas. So the whole water survival, being wet and getting cold and things like that. If you were forced to travel through the sewer, it's not just a means to get away from zombies and loot. It's going to have its own risks, its own little dangers still involved with it as well. Now, a lot of people have commented about the lack of zombie spawns, and currently there are no entity spawners inside the sewers, but that is probably going to change. It's quite a large area beneath the city. I mean, you can see just from the repeated sort of tiles, it's a massive amount of space.
So just to reiterate, because people always ask this question, this is a random gem world. This is all of these sections of train track and stations. These are all spawning randomly. These are not fixed.
The vanilla game itself has 4 city blocks which have the destroyed stone, the dead trees, and that sort of stuff on them, and that's what it puts the prefabs on top of. What my mod actually does is just adds new city blocks with different features built onto them. Cool. And then it spawns the prefabs onto them with all their issues and collapsing and lovely things.
Cool. So what we're doing now? Just having a look through.
What I wanted to show is where's the phone going crazy? I can bloody find one.
Are you showing how the storm drains meet up
Yeah,
to the roof?
yeah. It's just I don't think people realised how much the system sort of connects with itself.
Yeah.
Right, there we go. There we go. So, I mean, in the original video, this whole area here didn't exist. This was just a space where a ladder ran through until it connected to the sewers. So this has been opened up now. So from here, you could take this ladder back up to the surface, which is very similar to how it used to be.
Yeah.
You have the option, you're panicking, zombies are chasing, you break down the ladder, you come into the sort of station area, you come out into the tunnel, you can come all the way further down, get into the sewer system itself. You know, from this area in the sewer system, you would have to come up into this side port here, and from these bits, you could then travel up the storm drains to get back out.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to find clans of people actually
Yeah.
want to live in the drains. You're going to get some people who want to live in things like skyscrapers. The whole emphasis here is that so you end up with teams of either 4 to 6 or possibly even more people living in various areas of the city and kind of going and scavenging and shit like
Everybody
that.
can kind of have their own discreet little way that they use to get into the city, to get to the prefabs that they like to loot.
Yeah.
Maybe they're keeping an eye on the timers of when the boxes are going to respawn, and they've got it in their heads, you know, and they know they can make a little plan. They could block parts of the sewer off.
Yeah.
They could dig through walls and things. There's a lot of space for people to make hidden bases. You don't have to worry about running 1,000 blocks into the middle of nowhere to stop your stuff getting nicked. You can be a bit more creative.
So one other thing as well to point out is that in the very, very first version of the sewer, the sewer cells didn't actually connect to each other, but now they do.
Yeah, actually, we'll come out of the side because it's easier to see. Because one thing I like and I dislike is what we basically have is just a repeated pattern.
Yeah.
So it's the same under pretty much every cell. Now between the city blocks, I've tried to add little modifications, like trains are put into tunnels in different areas. Some of the areas are looted slightly different. Some of the tunnels have been damaged up a bit, but generally speaking, it's still a large sort of tiled pattern.
The thing is, though, it does mean that in one set, because previously you could go down into the sewers, but then you couldn't go into the next block of 4 buildings, whereas now you can.
Now the way that the subway tunnels connect, you don't exactly have a straight route from A to B. You're going to have to snake and weave and go in and out of the different tunnels to get from, you know, what you see as a straight line on the surface could really be an extra 500 or 600 blocks by the time you've covered all those tunnels to get there.
Yeah, yeah.
But
definitely.
the option of travelling underground to try and avoid people and what have you is still there.
So, I mean, I don't know if you want to set it to daytime, because I'm guessing the viewers probably want to be able to see what's going on a bit. But if we set it to daytime and have a flyer, actually, can we set it? Oh, we can't set it to daytime. Because we're on multiplayer. What a bastard. However,
someone will probably tell in the comments that there's a lovely little command we can use.
I think there is actually a command for set day. I can't remember what
I'm
it
that
is.
used to modern in single player games that I've never ever really familiarised me with.
I'm sure it's like Minecraft. I'm sure it's like set time and then the time in military hours or something like that. But the thing is that, I mean, all of these buildings that you see are essentially the combo pack, but some of them have been tweaked and reworked slightly so that they fit better into the city itself.
The combo pack doesn't consider performance for a start. A lot of the lights and things like that. I mean, Macaulay does a really good job at maintaining stuff, but we're using the combo pack in a way that he hasn't really released it for. You know, it's I get the impression it's a lot more. He plays a lot more single player. Some people don't really want a big giant city. Some people just want to explore continuous random gen, and you know, each to their own. But this is what we're using it for. So some measures have had to been taken for performance. I mean, you've got a huge, massive, dense area of buildings.
I mean, this is a lot of especially when you consider there's a prefab above ground. There's a sewer prefab below ground. There's a metro system below ground. There's a lot of prefabs, no matter where you are being rendered at any time.
It's just one large giant city prefab.
Exactly. So we've had to optimize it a bit by doing stuff like turning lights off and replacing certain blocks with other blocks to make it a bit quicker.
Yeah. It's not terrible. I mean, I find you're going to have to sacrifice some settings on a worse machine. I don't have the luxury of playing this in 4K, but I'm quite happy at 40 frames and 1440.
Realistically speaking, if they did allow for SLI, then you could play it in 4K.
I could play it in 4K then.
We need SLI. Fun pips, we need SLI. So, but yeah, so talking a little bit more about because I mean, this city, it's probably got over 100 prefabs that some people have never seen before. Let's talk about some of the custom prefabs that are on the outside of the city.
Yeah, so going back to the original picture of the hubs.
Just click this one here.
Yeah. So, right. So we have the central city. This is an old picture, but like we said earlier on, this is because of the offset we've had to use. You're going to get a largely sort of square, gritty style map. I mean, I know a lot of it's not filled in, and once it is, it'll not look as grid. But you know that's generally the way it's going to be. Want that one. So this is the same again, but this is the current test server.
So this is the server that we're actually just playing on right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can still see we've got the city in the middle. The main changes to the test server version now is we are now on the test server up to Combo Pack 10. 11 is ready, and I just need to swap some of the newer things over. There's a couple of errors with this one which have been fixed.
Yeah.
But the hubs are still whole enough for what to actually show you that.
Yeah.
And let's get me maths on again. Let's remember the coordinates.
Yeah. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to teleport to one of the outer.
We'll cover the Asia hub first, because
Cool.
that's, I think, out of all the newer creations, one of the most, not necessarily the best looking, but definitely one of the most unique.
Yeah.
Totally different, a nice slice of originality, and I think what really sets it off is it's not just one person's work. I think the idea originally came about when Red Lotus put forward an Asian themed prefab that he then decided, you know, it would be a good idea to make a town, and I think Magoli got quite taken by the idea and started going, I've escaped, that's why. But Magoli was quite, we've came to the slum. Let's just quickly zap ourselves north. We'll come back to the slum because that deserves a little bit of...
The slum deserves a mention because Picaro is a wizard. So, like I say, a lot of the stuff we've got here is community-made content. It's not necessarily all made by us. Certain things were, such as the sewer system and the train system was made by Slaan himself. But this is the Asia hub. Just we're using it on our custom layout, just to kind of
to get it out.
Just to get it in there, yeah, because it's an awesome set of buildings.
Like I say, that this is a good idea when the community gets hold of an idea and you have 5 or 6 people contributing, and they put they put their little spin on the same sort of theme, and then you end up with something like this.
Yeah.
Which, it's not massive, it's not huge. I picture it more as a district within a big city, but you know.
Thing is, it's quite cool. I mean, if you imagine that it's kind of gang warfare with zombies, you're all in the big city. You've just got yourself a mini bike and you want to go and bust off to one of the outer hubs just to go and explore. Like, obviously, this one's the Asian theme hub.
This is the little problem that they had. This is the Combo Pack 10.
Yeah, well, this is fixed in the.
It's, I've actually seen the newer one as well. It all works fine.
But yeah, so it does mean, because I mean, the first thing that people would tend to say with urban combat is like, well, what the fuck's the point of having mini bikes if we're all in one place? So it's kind of, you're not necessarily restricted to one place. You can go to any of the 8 outer hubs, or you can go even further if you want something randomly to spawn.
Mini bikes are endgame.
Yeah.
If you want to be able to go riding off into the distance and have hassle-free looting and nothing but zombies to deal with, then you're going to have to work for it on our server. It's too much of an easy option to have at the beginning of the game to disappear from everyone.
But the thing is, though, it's like, if you want to play on a PvP server, why would you want to ride off in the middle of nowhere? You know what I mean?
Because you don't want a disadvantage. You want to tidy yourself out, get things built up, and then come back when you're ready. And the problem is you never come back when you're ready. You get your base set up, you get everything built, and then you get bored and you go and play on a different server, or you put it down for something else.
Yeah.
You know, we're not trying to put a border around the map. We're just making little incentives to say, look, if you're going to hang around the middle area of the map, it's going to be a little bit easier on the looting.
It's going to be more interesting.
It's more contested.
Yeah.
And you're still going to get some people who will piss off into the horizon, and fair enough, they're more than welcome to do that. They can do that, and it's still an option.
Yeah.
You know, and...
So we're not forcing you, by any means.
But you do understand, when most people on the map are hanging around the middle, those little offshoots that are going to appear on the live web map, we will be following you down with a purple quality shotgun.
Don't forget, everybody can see the server map. So A few other things to mention is so we're just looking at the Asian theme one. There will be some of the other ones include the massive shopping mall. Who made the shopping mall again?
Uh, there's two shopping malls. We're actually using this. There's the shopping centre,
Yeah.
and the shopping mall. The
Right,
shopping
right.
mall itself is something to be incorporated a bit further down the line, but the shopping centre is not too bad.
Right. Cool.
It's quite a cool little prefab.
The Walking Dead prison's in there, which is obviously everybody's favourite.
Yeah.
There will be vending machines and a bank where you can do bits and bobs. More about that later on. But either way, though, what I'm saying is it's definitely worth leaving the city at some point to explore the outer, the outer, the outer areas.
Once 13 goes live, there's a lot of ideas floating around at the minute and potential collaborations and stuff. I think this is the last version from 13, the last version of the city that you'll see being built as it's built now.
Yeah.
The custom hub layout code has just exploded all over the forums, which is what things like this Asia town is now. It's not an actual city. Somebody's individually coded in every section of road in every prefab lot and let the mixer spawn it as it is.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. But what it means is because we're tied to one hub per cell, on our current map at a cell size of 2,000, this hub is kind of the main feature of that 2 square kilometre area.
Right.
And if you had a giant city in there, fair enough. But a little hub like this, there's a lot more work to be done with wilderness POIs to make sure that this cell would be more fully fleshed out. But like I say, I mean, it's good for now. It'll work for now. But further down the line,
should we check out a couple of other hubs?
we'll go and find the slum again, because I just fell in love with this.
This is made by Picaro on the forums.
Yeah.
Is it Picaro or Picaro?
Picaro. And it would be fucking crispy dark night time.
Have you got a headlamp? Stick a headlamp on. Headlamp's always better than torches.
I mean, don't get us wrong, it'll have a nice...
Tab.
Oh, God, because you've... I say I reverted them back to the default controls for me.
Tab. We've got some controller issues.
Yeah, like that friggin' torch really makes it. Yes, sir.
Oh, it's because you haven't. Press escape.
What the hell?
Is this the alt and tab bug?
Yeah, my
Did I try it now?
Oh, the compass works.
The compass works. Look at the compass spinning. What the fuck is going on here? Answers on a postcard.
And it would be night time, so we can't even talk about those lovely white lines that you see there.
Hold this one sec. Let's see if we can fix this. What is going on? I'll tell you what, we can always just quit. You never seen that?
Those errors. Those errors.
I'm sure it's to do with the alt tab and keyboard shortcuts and all that jazz.
Right, to be honest, and all the messing around with the test server, we've never been able to fully remove some of the console errors that have popped up. But again, after the 13 launch, once we've seen the new mixer and how the new systems are going to work, there's so many more cool things that are going to happen to the map.
Just want to what's the password?
City test.
So I'm just going to see if the set time command does work, because I'm sure it does. City test. Is it a console command? The on. Did I put the M on there?
Yep.
Yeah. Set time.
Put it about 1200.
Worked.
Right, so let's give you a...
Time. 1200. It hasn't set the time. However, it looks a lot lighter than it was before. So carry on. Can you? Yeah, there we go. So that's fixed that. Got your mining helmet on.
Yeah. So Picaro Slum. I do believe that this was originally built for Navezgane.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And the thing that really strikes me about this is it's the level of detail. There's so many things. I mean, the highway for a start. I mean, how cool is that going to look running? I can picture it almost already, just straight through the middle of a nice giant city.
Yeah, man, definitely. The thing is, this although it was built for static gen Navezgane, it was just too good not to bring into a random world.
Yeah, this is the thing. What I was saying with the hub layout code exploding though is there's no limit to what you can put into the random gen now, and people are just starting to wrap their teeth around exactly how to do it. So all of these cool big builds that are being out and not really being usable in the random gen are all in there in their own little custom cells with their own little roadmaps. It's all connected into the usual.
I've just broke a leg. Sorry about that. You got the headlight on?
Yep.
Is it on? It doesn't look on. Ah, there we go.
It is now.
So have a fly around. Let's check it out a little bit.
So like I say, I mean, you've got the highway running through the city, you've got the dense buildings, we have built up areas, but then it's the extra little layers of detail. Like you can see how people sort of survived here after the catastrophe. You can see where they've built things up, little temporary shelters. This is pitch black, but it's actually filled with piled up broken cars, and I think it's actually an earthquake. That's kind of what it looks like, some of the damage, not just zombie apocalypse.
I think if it's a nuclear bomb or something like that, then it's gonna shake the ground a bit.
Yeah, chew things up a little bit. But you know, you can see where people have kind of gathered together and tried to survive afterwards. There's a lot of little tunnels. I think it's one of these types of hubs where you'll be exploring it for weeks and still finding little offshoots and little secret rooms and
yeah.
And this ties in nicely with urban survival, because instead of feeling like you've got to go and have some discreet little hidden base, I mean, what's stopping you from just knocking a couple of blocks out of one of these walls? Who's going to know? Who's going to know that Big C lives underneath that house? You know, you don't have to run 10,000 blocks away to feel safe. You just, you find the Picaro slum and there you go. Just be quiet when you hear people.
Yes, stay away from my base. So I tell you what, let's hit one of the other satellites. I mean, we're not going to show you all 8 in this video, just because it would go on for ages. We just wanted to show you a couple.
I think the only other explodes is Lasman's Good Old Faithful.
The good old faithful Walking Dead prison.
The Walking Dead prison.
The Walking Dead. I mean,
where's Terminus, Lasman? Where's Terminus?
Oh. So yeah, Walking Dead prison. It's a classic. Everybody loves it. You've got to have it as one of the outer things. By the way, the code for this will be available for you guys to download if you want to set your own server up. But we will have a 48-player PvP server where if you want to come.
I think because of the way that this is going to be the last method, the last city or sort of map that we'll make using the traditional methods. After this, everything is going to be custom hub layout.
Yeah.
Every square inch. So once the 13 server goes live, we'll make the mixer available, we'll make the prefab packs that we've used available, anything else that people want really. Or even better, just come on to our server. We'll do all this just to get people on. I want people to shoot, I want people to rob.
Come down lower a bit, just because it's quite hard to see, just with it being fucking...
The best part of the prison for me really is just taking the same path that Rick does, and it's the instantly recognisable. Just awesome. I mean, good luck to anybody living here. There's that many friggin' zombies, but
yeah, and they spawn quite frequently as well.
Yeah. But further down the line, though, I mean, there's nothing stopping we're making areas like this that are high risk, have high reward. That's definitely something that's going to be looked into in the future. Zombie dog.
So yeah, so to recap, this is ready at the minute for Alpha 12.5, but it's going to be live when 13 drops, as soon as we've made any tweaks that need to be made in order to get it working.
I think we just expected 13 to be out by now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good that it hasn't been the amount of sort of work that we've done behind the scenes. Only been done because we've been waiting for 13 to come out I think after 13, things are really going to get interesting.
Yeah. Well, there's a top secret project which we can't talk about because we'd have to kill you. But if you keep an eye out on the blogs, come out here. Let's have a quick look at quickly plug ourselves. Well, don't plug ourselves because that sounds
Yeah,
wrong.
we had a bit of a gap between the last blog.
Yeah, you need to move that off. Drag this window off here. Lovely. So, yep. Now we're back over here. What have you done? What have you done? There you go.
So the Alpha 13 blog, really, I mean, like it says in the title, we've had quite a 4 or 5 week gap where we've done not very much, mostly waiting for Alpha 13 to come out. So it's just a kind of where we're at because it had been so long, and we didn't want people to think that we've stopped doing anything.
Yeah.
It's just a case now of we need to see what's going to happen with 13 and get our teeth into fixing things and getting it ready.
So just as a little quick plug for those who don't know what this is the website where me and Slaan write about shit on our server. So at the top of the page you have 6 blog entries, which are our most recent blog entries, and below that we have more information on our server, so you can just click along those tabs just to show them what they are.
Yeah.
So what our custom rules are, any mods that we've got going on, custom commands, custom recipes, which will all be getting redone for 13. So if you've got suggestions for mods and stuff like that, just let me know. We'll get them into the game. And below that, which is not on at the minute because I've stopped the server, is, go back to the other page, you will be able to see a real-time server map like this that you can zoom in and out.
I care more for the test server at the minute because there's much more interesting things going on.
Yeah, well, the live server, with it being so close to 13.
Yeah. We've talked a few times about possibly pushing the test server map and restarting, but 13 is just, they just keep hinting that 13's so close that we didn't want to start a fresh game for people and then 2-3 weeks in say, right, by the way, 13's out, let's go.
Yeah.
We'd rather have everybody's full attention and interest from 13 going out live, and we'll have a few months of activity hopefully there.
Definitely. So you guys now know what's going to drop for 13, so make sure you hit the server. In the meantime, check out northernland.co.uk/7d2d, which is where the blog will be. We'll put all updates on there. If you've got any ideas, because obviously this is on my YouTube channel, but Slaan likes to know, so feel free to reply either on the YouTube video or drop us a line on the blog page. And if you've got any ideas, if you want to get involved, if you've got some crew that you want to bring over, you're more than welcome. And
I would definitely say for people who are wanting to maybe be involved with the building of the map, I would definitely follow the blogs a lot more closely over the coming weeks, because like C mentioned a bit earlier on, there's a project in the works that I'm thrashing out at the minute that's really going to change the way that we approach building the city. But once when we've got an idea of really what exactly we're going to do, then we'll start blogging and let people know.
Yeah.
Because
So
it's going to be interesting.
So top secret projects for a different video then. But right, well, we're going to end this one now. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, press like, comment, subscribe, tell your mom, and we shall see you guys on the next blog update. Well, hopefully Alpha 13 will be launched by then.
Yeah, we'll have a couple. I've got a couple of blogs to put out soon anyway. So, but
Cool.
13, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's when it's going to happen.
13 on our server, no one else's server.
Urban Survival 2015.
There you go. And from me and Slaan, we'll see you guys next time.
Ciao.